I just happened to be in the Vietnam War, and that was many years ago, before you were born. And the reason why we had the war was we were really big on keeping freedom at home, keeping freedom around the world, and there was such thing as communists. And the communists were like the bad guys, like the Al Qaeda today.
Nolan, you know what he means by that? The bad guys?
Yeah.
The people that wanted to hurt us in our country.
And so our job was to go over where the bad guys were trying to infiltrate what was a democratic country, to keep it free. And we went over there for a number of years, and we fought as soldiers. And a lot of people were killed, and a lot of people today are memorialized because of that holiday, because of that war. And that it's hard to measure what it meant, and it's hard to measure what a war means during the war. But afterwards, you can kind of assess it, and you can see what it brought about. And it usually brings about freedom and freedom of choice, which is a big thing for all Americans, including 8-year-olds.
You want to be free to do what you want
During
to
the war,
watch what you want to watch.
you get into a lot of different situations, bad situations where the enemy's trying to hit you and hurt you and kill you. So when playing war, you know that you're always going after the bad guy, bam, 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 trying to get him before he gets you. Well, that's what we did in Vietnam. We tried to get them before they got us. So one time there was a what they call a firefight, and the bad guys were attacking us.
Oh, that's
And they were attacking us with mortars. And I was on the fire base. It was an area where they kept all the good guys in one position. And if it wasn't for the fact that these mortars were coming in and exploding, and people were jumping into safe havens, which are like bunkers, which are big holes with sandbags so that the blast would be protecting them, it wouldn't be as dangerous. But everybody jumped into these bunkers, in these holes, and that as a result, they didn't know what was going to go on around them outside. My job as what they call a forward observer was to go out and to determine where these rounds were coming from and fire back at them so that they would stop the firing and they would stop the attack. And as a result, we would save some people's lives on the fire base. Well, as a result of doing that, my commanding officer, my boss's boss, he said, Riley, you're going to get an award and be recognized for doing, in this case, earned with V, which is valor.
Tape it.
And I earned it twice. And this was awarded while being in this combat mission during the Republic of Vietnam War era. And they presented this to me with a number of soldiers surrounding me. They're all lined up, and they're all at attention. And it was a very big moment for me, and rewarding for this guy to give me this medal. And as a result, Christy put it in this frame to save for perpetuity, save beyond me. Now this one over here was an air medal, and we flew in helicopters all the time, because that's how you got around in Vietnam. You couldn't walk much or drive much because it was very jungle-like. So we flew from one point to the next point. And anytime you chart any time in the air in a combat mission, they log it. And as a result, I logged over 50 hours in the air going to and from a combat mission or participating in one. So as a result, the same colonel gives me this air medal and salutes me and says, "Thank you for your time in Vietnam. We appreciate it." I've got a commendation from the President of the United States also that says the same thing. Thank you very much for participating in the war. We appreciate your efforts, and we want to reward you with a small token, which is an honor. That's what this is all about. That's what these two medals are all about. Any questions?
What do you